Welcome to Strip Coverlet. I'm Adrian Ford.
And I'm Dalton Gentry.
And we're here for a bit of variety, a taste of variety in the week.
Little variety hour.
Variety hour.
Yeah, we got stuff to talk about. No other outlet to do so. So naturally, internet.
You've got things to talk about. I'm still Adrian.
Yeah, I always feel like variety hour is just like Dalton's going to tell a bunch of stories, Adrian's going to make fun of him.
There's that.
There's that.
Or there's Dalton complains about something.
Yeah.
And Adrian offers insight to that thing that leads Dalton nowhere.
It's fair.
Right?
It's fair. I'm usually after, the 25-minute mark, I've toned out everything, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm being haunted.
What?
That's a thing. I'm being haunted. What? So we adopted this old dog. Yeah, it's Cooper. He's 9. And twice now, in the past 2 weeks, I've mistaken him for a small child, and it scared the shit out of me. And, I don't know what to do. So, first time it happens, I don't know what to do.
It's not an actual child, it's still the dog.
Or is it? If it happens again, we have a problem.
There's a shape-shifting child in your house.
Time one, I'm sitting on the couch, the big sectional, and, I scoot to get off of it. And, he's at the end of the couch, sitting on the floor. And I look down, I'm like, oh, shit. For some reason, I thought it was a kid just staring at me. I'm like, oh, God, that scared me. Heart's pounding, freaking out.
More so because it was a child than the fact that it was a mystery.
Exactly. I'm like,
children.
I shouldn't be there. So the other day, I open the bathroom door, I'm leaving the bathroom, and he's sitting in the hallway waiting for me like The Shining. And I think it's a small child again. I'm like, I shut the door. I'm like, I don't know what to do with myself. So, it's just him, and this has never happened before. I'm convinced he's possessed.
I'm convinced you're blind.
We are going to have an exorcism of the dog because he's being haunted by the soul of a small child.
I wonder if there's ghost stories about something like that. You know what I mean? There's weird ghost stories about things transforming into something else all the time. I wonder if there's any in the annals about a dog transforming into a child.
There needs to be. If not, I'm writing it. So,
I'd have to.
Further uncomfortable.
It'd be a hell of a short story.
It would. It would. Further, the uncomfortable nature of this, the reason that we adopted him, his former family, had to get rid of him, had him for 9 years, because he hated the child. And, he does not like kids. So he's fucking haunted.
That's a kid. That's a kid in the body of a dog.
It's a ghost kid. I know. There's a ghost kid.
You're just blind. I'm blind.
Well,
my vision's getting worse all the time.
Well, you've had the same glasses for 15 years, so.
So I notice every small increment of terrible that my vision usurps.
I usually, get new glasses every few years, but, I'm concerned for myself, because I don't think I'm blind. I think I'm just going batshit crazy. Yeah. 28 years, it's time. He's slipping.
I think they're sort of two in the same, and I've done a lot of thinking about this recently because I'm so fucking blind, is that I don't know what I would do without. I don't know what I'd do without the ability to see. I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't be able to read. Writing would be infinitely more difficult.
It would.
I couldn't learn Braille, Dalton. I couldn't learn French.
You can learn Braille. It's fine.
How am I going to learn Braille?
It's fine. You can learn French Braille. You'll be fine.
I don't know.
But, this whole story was prompted because, I go outside to smoke in between takes, and, I'm standing there smoking, and out of the corner of my eye, I see a shadow. I think it's a person moving. I'm like, oh, shit. Nope. I am paranoid and skittish and crazy right now.
Yeah, well, seeing shadows also means you're going blind.
Maybe.
Macular degeneration.
I don't know what's going on.
Degeneration. I've looked into this.
I don't know what's going on. And, none of our dogs are qualified to be a seeing eye dog, so I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So.
You'd have to use your girlfriend.
Or Josh.
Put Josh on a leash.
But he'd probably get me to McDonald's on the couch, so, I'll live. It's just not going to be a great life.
What was that movie? This Is the End? Where Channing Tatum is on a leash?
Yes. That movie, if you've not seen This Is the End, that's what you're doing immediately after this variety hour. You need to go watch that. It is possibly one of the best movies I've seen in years.
Really?
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
It's only okay.
No, it is absolutely hilarious.
It's only okay.
And wholeheartedly, I feel like this close group of friends who just happen to be comedians got together and you want to see if we can get the funding for a movie and just I don't know, film it here? And yeah, they just kind of rolled with it.
Oh, I guarantee that's how all sorts of Hollywood works.
Yeah.
That's how most of Hollywood works. I guarantee it.
But the premise of the movie, there's so we want to throw a really, really big party, but nobody wants to pay for it. What if we tell them we're filming it for a movie?
Yeah.
Works
then we'll shoot
flawlessly.
connective tissue.
It's fine. It's fine. We'll fill in the blanks. Great movie.
It's only okay. I feel Danny McBride is like sour cream. When there's just hints of him around, oh, it's amazing. A little bit of sour cream around the edge of your something, you know? But when there's a whole dollop of it, you can't believe you bit into it.
Have you seen Your Highness?
No.
With Danny McBride and James Franco?
No.
McBride actually stars in it. And, like, it's pretty damn good. It's not bad. It's no This Is the End, but it's good.
I refuse to believe you. He was flawless in Tropic Thunder because he was sour cream hinting the burrito.
Okay. All right, it's good. I'm okay with it. Then again, I really like Seth Rogen movies.
I can't stand Seth Rogen.
I like Seth Rogen.
I can't stand Seth Rogen. I can't stand Will Ferrell. I can't stand Ben Affleck.
Well, nobody likes Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, like certain, what's the guy's name I like? Seth Rogen movies. Certain Seth Rogen movies are good. I hate Pineapple Express.
Oh, that's the worst movie ever.
The worst movie ever is The Other Guys, with Will Ferrell and what's his name?
Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg.
I didn't see that one.
Awful. Yeah. But anyway, no, I don't like Pineapple Express, but like Neighbors is phenomenal. This Is the End is hilarious. And honestly, if you want a good, serious movie, I think Funny People is one of the best movies made in a hot minute.
I never saw that one.
Oh my God, Funny People is good.
I've heard good things
It
about
hurts.
it. Yeah,
It hurts.
I've heard good things about it.
But anyway,
What are some actors you can't stand?
actors I can't stand. I don't like Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, like, I say that and, like, half of our subscribers are gone now. Because, like, Johnny Depp has this weird fan base, but he is a creepy old douchebag who just does the same character over and over again.
But he devolved into that, you know? He didn't used to be that.
I don't know. Like, he wants to act like he's in his 20s, he's this heartthrob, but he's old as hell.
Yeah, he's ancient.
And he's creepy, and, like, if you read anything about his personal life, he's kind of a dick.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sticking up for him, don't get me wrong.
it's just like Tim Burton seeped into his life, and he's like, wow, I can make a lot of money just being the same person over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not about it. Don't like me some Johnny Depp.
Tim Burton's doing the new Dumbo, isn't he?
Is he?
I think he's the director of the new Dumbo.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That actually might be good.
I'm excited to see how that movie goes, where it goes.
Tim Burton is hit or miss. He's either really good or absolutely awful.
Yeah.
So,
No other actors you just can't stand? You see them, they're in something and it's
I
a deal
don't
breaker?
like Mark Wahlberg. Like, a lot of people really like Mark Wahlberg. Like, I could care less, not a fan. I'm trying to think of, like, anybody else, like, I just... Oh, Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yeah, I can't stand her.
I can't do Melissa McCarthy movies.
Yeah.
Not in the least. I tried to go watch the Happy Time Murders, the puppet movie, thinking that would be up my alley 100% because, like, I am a puppet. And, like, no. Nothing.
Nothing?
It wasn't good. It was terrible.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was a great premise.
It really was, and, like, it had so much potential. And, like, I love Fraggle Rock. Like,
You are Fraggle.
this is my logic here. I'm like, Muppets, Fraggle Rock, this has to be great.
Yeah.
No, it was a flop. And that's sad. That's all I got.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
sad.
like... I'm trying to think. You know what? I don't know. I'm sure there's some people there's a lot of people I can't stand.
Yeah.
But I don't, not off the tip of my tongue.
Like, there's very few people that, like, I won't go see a movie just because they're in
Right.
it. Like, I can't think of anybody on that line, but, like, I don't know.
Like, I even went and saw the Batman movies, even though it was, what's his name? Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
I can't stand Ben Affleck.
And, like, every now and then, like, I didn't like Matt Damon for the longest time, but, like,
I can see that.
he grows on me. Like a fungus.
Yeah?
He's fine. He's just there, and I'm
He
okay
stands up
with
for
it.
a lot of teachers' rights.
Does he?
Yeah.
Good for
His
him.
mother was a teacher.
Good for him.
So like, there's this famous clip of him on YouTube where he's standing up for teachers being paid more, and the woman interviewing him asks him something I don't remember, and then the camera guy chimes in because he's saying, well, they should be taught more. Do you want to live that life where you got to be up at X hour in the morning and you got to do all this work after you get off work and you're not being paid for that? And the camera guy chimes in, well, what if she's a shitty teacher? And he looks back and goes, what if you're a shitty cameraman? You know, like, you get paid the same, huh?
Yep.
Or you lose your job, huh? So, yeah, there's a big, I can, some politics on actors I can get behind.
Well,
But-
good for him. Teachers need it. Not a lot of people stand up for teachers and, like, holy shit, man. We thought about being teachers for the longest time.
Yeah.
Like, What they go through, what they get paid, not worth it.
No. Well, I won't say that
It's worth it, but like, I mean, they're not being compensated for what they deserve.
They're not being compensated fairly for anything in their lives. But I think that we both came to different realizations about why we didn't want to be teachers. And it's rough, because there's not a lot of... There's a fine line. There are a lot of people that are so dedicated to their craft that they don't care. They're not getting paid anything.
Yeah.
They would like to get paid more. Who wouldn't?
True.
But I'm not going to risk my profession to speak out on it because I love my profession more than the money that might be involved.
And that's a lot of your great teachers. They're very passionate about their craft, and therefore they do great things. But like, I don't know.
There's also a lot of teachers who, have you ever heard, I'm not going to remember what it's called, but there's a great deal of clergy members who are atheists.
Really?
But all they've ever done with their lives is be clergy members.
Okay.
So
that's
they
interesting.
can't get out. And I think that based on some of the teachers I've had in my life, that's the same with teaching.
Yeah.
Because you're in control when you're the teacher. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's not like I'm going to quit being a teacher and go work in the retail world and there's constantly someone hounding me. You don't get me wrong, you have hounding bosses as a teacher.
True.
But inside your classroom, you're the one, Plus the fact you go work retail and your knowledge of history or English or mathematics do you no good.
Yeah. I say I found it interesting, like doing the whole teaching thing for a while, and like I quickly realized this. When you go to a teacher and say, "Hey, I'm having some trouble. Can you tell me about this?" and they're like, "Why don't you look it up and tell me?
Yeah.
See what you come up with." That means they don't fucking know either. Yes. They're either pushing you because they know it and you can figure it out, or they don't know. Like some kid comes up to me like, "Can you define past participles?" I'm like, why don't you get back to me on that? You tell me what you think. I'm going to go get on the Google so I know what I'm talking about. I don't know, man. There's like that terrible fear of like very simple things that like, when's the last time you studied grammar?
Yeah.
Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. But I think that also a good part of that in your experience is probably the fact that your teacher said, "Dalton, you're a lazy shit. Figure it out."
That's fair.
I know you're asking because you just didn't want to do the work.
No, that's actually I will never ask anything.
Okay.
Like it bothers me to ask a teacher anything. Like I've made it a point this semester, like going back for the masters, to like, 1, you have to go talk to them outside of class, and 2, you need to send them emails.
Yeah.
But like it is a struggle to this day to send that email.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I never liked emailing professors.
I don't like
visiting
talking
during
to them either.
office hours, yeah.
No. And like it's the same thing I go into. Like I go in, I'm like, "This is my question, please answer it." "Okay, thank you, have a good day." And then like I leave, I'm like, I really should have asked this too, but I'm not going back now. You got your one.
See, I enjoyed office hours for a different reason. I enjoyed picking apart a professor and figuring out what it was that they were doing.
Okay.
Not picking apart in a malicious fashion, but going in and you can tell a lot about a professor by how they ordain their office.
Okay. That's fair.
You know what Roberts had in his office?
Nothing.
Lots of dead stuff.
And a candy jar that no one ate out of.
Yeah. Lots
Fair.
of dead bugs, things like that.
Fair.
But yeah, I think that it helps a lot to go to a professor's office. And you're paying for it, right?
True.
College is not cheap.
No, it's not.
So if you need help with something, you may as well seek it out. But B, I assume that the reason you're studying something in college is you have some type of passion for it. The odds that you are going to stumble in something to be passionate about during an office hour is much greater than it is during class. For example, I often tell the story of my first literature course in college, and it was Portrait of an Artist as Young Man. It was
Brutal.
As I Lay Dying. It was all of these things that were just completely over my head. And I wasn't really getting much out of the class, not because of the professor. The professor was actually good, but it was because I couldn't connect with anything. So I was, what's the name of the family in As I Lay Dying? Bundridge?
Something like that.
I'm going to make an ass of myself. Anyway, she was talking in the class about just how shitty these people's lives were. And I made the point, look, we're all one shit day away from being a Bundridge. I don't have insurance. I get in a car wreck on the way to work and I break a leg. Guess what it's going to cost me? Guess what I'm losing my job? Guess what I don't have transportation? Guess what this? Guess what that? All of a sudden, you're in the bottom dredges of society. And she thought that was, she had never heard anyone make that point before.
Fair.
She thought it was hilarious. So after class, I had asked her something else about...
The undergrad doesn't have insurance. How funny.
But after class, I had asked her something else, walked all the way across campus back to her office with her, because I had no idea at the point that William Faulkner had that Yogtopanoff?
The county.
Yeah, I can't think of anything tonight. But mapped it all out, knew all of the people who lived there, had backstories for all the people who lived there. I had no idea about any of that, and she was telling me about that, and it was from that I really connected with the text.
Found interest,
bought the book over that summer at Hastings, and made a reattempt to delve into the text, but I still couldn't read it.
Okay.
I still didn't have the tools. But it was through this little chance occurrence of speaking to a professor outside of class. Now I love Faulkner.
Fair.
So it is through this little chance occurrence of mentioning something and finding something she was passionate about and impressed by the fact that he had mapped out this entire county, knew everyone who lived in it and their backstory, that I gained something.
That works. I don't know. The only thing I think where, like, you're talking about insurance, I heard a thing recently where, like, they compared, like, not having insurance to basically playing the lottery.
Yeah.
Like playing the lottery, that you spend a lot of money in the hopes that you're going to strike it big. Not having insurance, you save a lot of money in the hopes you're not going to strike it poor.
But it's not even about that. Like, it is a life-crippling amount of money that you can spend on insurance. Not just that you'll be out if I find out tomorrow I've got cancer. It's a life-crippling amount of money to have insurance not through your job, period.
True.
So why is that in the wealthiest nation on the earth? Why is it that X-rays still cost $1,000 or whatever?
Yep.
Despite the fact that those X-ray machines are from the 50s.
Yep.
And they've been paid off since the 60s.
My insurance is not the best. Like, I have a finite amount of times that I can go to a doctor in a year. So, like, if I get super sick or come down with, like, an actual disease of some kind, it's like a long-term disease, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So I'm just paying in basically. So, like, if I get a cold, I can go to get a Z-Pack, call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got.
That's insurance, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
That's insurance in the United States.
It does suck. I don't know. Like, what can we do? We're poor and we live in the Midwest, so
Yeah.
that's what we got.
Something has to change.
You'd like to think so.
I'm not going to talk politics. I'm done talking politics on the channel. But something has to change.
I fucking love politics.
Why do you love politics?
I don't know. Like, I got so excited because we just had the midterm elections.
Yeah.
And, like, I stayed up and I watched every single state that, popped up. And, like, it's exciting to me. Like, Kansas just had this whole liberal blue flip. Like, Kansas is all blue now. And Missouri is all red.
Which is strange.
Very strange. Complete polar, like, flip. Like, Kansas has never been this democratic. So it's like, I don't know how Kansas is going to react.
And Missouri's always been split.
Yeah, about 50-50. Yeah. But, like, yeah, we're pretty red this year. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah, my argument is, I don't know if I've debuted this argument on the channel or not. I consider myself liberal, not leftist, right?
Okay.
So I live by principles, not politics. Donald Trump, I don't know if you knew this. Donald Trump has been president of the United States for 2 years. That's worst case scenario.
It's fair.
That's bottom of the barrel, right? And I don't care what your politics are. Most of the people that I know that voted for Trump because, you know what, we're just going to shake up the system.
See what happens.
Donald Trump has been president for 2 years, and things are all right. Some things are better, some things are worse. This is the way it always goes, though.
Okay.
This is the way it always goes. So you can't convince me that politics mean anything. What is he screwed up? He is worst case scenario. There's no fires in the streets. There's no more protests than there were. What is different? Tell me, what is different?
I don't know, I feel at this point we should just move to, like, middle of nowhere, Montana. Like, we can just film out there and, like, go to the library once a month to upload all our videos.
Where's this argument coming from?
I have no idea. I feel like you're just done with society, so we should just move out in the middle of nowhere and start our homestead.
This is absolutely a nihilistic take. There is no point to it. The worst case scenario is in the White House, I believe.
It's fair.
And nothing to... We're not on fire. Now, don't get me wrong, he's got 2 more years. But I don't see it. I don't see it. All these people who say this is just the worst time in history. I don't see it. You're more than welcome to make a case. I just don't see it.
Okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Buy my faith back in the system.
I'm way off in, like, Dalton and Adrian out homesteading now, so, like, that's all I can think about. I just imagine you'd be like, hey, you got some of those carrots that we harvested? I'm like, I didn't plant carrots. I thought you planted the carrots. And we starve. It's fine.
It's like that game Banished. Have you ever seen that game Banished?
I've not played Banished,
It is a Steam game. It was made and developed by one person.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting and nuanced game. I think that's the future of gaming, is these small games that then people mod. Because there's all these mods for it that made it a much more difficult game than it was. It used to be, can you get through the winters? You know, can your town thrive enough to grow, but keep up in the summers in the fall with the food that you harvest to last the winter? Very interesting game, but simple. And there's all these modifications to it now that you can download. I think that's the future of gaming. It's basically crowdsourcing.
Okay.
Right? You come up with a premise for a game and you crowdsource the nuance.
That's fair. Game development's always been something I'm not literate enough with technology to develop a game, but I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's basically world building, so I like things like that. You were talking about surviving the winter, though. I just realized, that's not a thing anymore as much, in our area. Because, we are on the midst of Snowmageddon. We're supposed to get, a foot of snow, ice, everything. The worst-case scenario for snow. And, it's going to suck, but I'm not concerned about surviving the winter. But, 100 years ago, holy shit, man.
Oh, yeah.
In game.
Yeah.
Adrian and Dalton homesteading, we don't survive the winter.
No.
One of us is going to get eaten.
Yeah, I would eat the fuck out of you.
Well, thank you. Please put that on a t-shirt. That's all I want. I don't know where to go from that. I can't segue that. I'm so sorry.
It reminds me of a story from when I was in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
Homeless people often go to libraries.
Mm-hmm.
The library that I frequented, there were homeless guys that would frequent the library and they'd be there. And I heard one of them talking to another one, just in such matter-of-fact, plain-as-day terms. They were talking, I don't remember what they were talking about to lead into this conversation. But it took a very dark turn when I heard the phrase, yeah, if I get through the winter, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. And it was just, you always know,
Yeah.
This one of, I've always felt sorry for homeless people, especially in the winters. But just hearing someone put it in such plain as day terms, and it was a small plan. It was like getting a radio or something. And he goes, if I make it through the winter, I'm going to get myself a radio. Jesus, that is a hard thing to hear.
Yeah, it's a different fucking world.
Yeah.
I understand completely. And, I've made the argument many times because, I enjoy the idea of, buying a van and just drifting and living in it.
Of course you do.
I think that sounds gorgeous. Homeless by choice is a wonderful thing where you get just the freedom and the opportunity to do what you want. Homeless by circumstance is an awful fucking thing.
Yeah.
Whatever, I get it. So if you just see a van parked outside your apartment complex for 3 or 4 days, it's me.
Well, I know you're not stealing my internet.
No, I'm not stealing your internet. I'm parked close enough to McDonald's so I can steal theirs. Don't worry, I'll still be late to coming to film. I'll just be like, oh man,
It's a long walk up here, man.
It's a long walk. I had to take a break. I'm making it. It's fine. I used to have, my first car, I know I've talked about this, was a conversion van. with like the fold-out couch, the bed, the shag carpet, and everything. And like, I wish I still had that van.
Yeah.
I fucking loved that thing.
Yeah.
Like, we were always talking about, like, we wanted to get a little smoke machine in it. So, like, anytime I get pulled over, I just start pushing the button. So when they open it, it just bellows and be like, good evening. How are you?
Just real wide-eyed. Hello, Ossifer. How are you doing tonight?
I went through a period of my life where, like, I could not get on the highway because I had that van. Yeah. I was 16. I had a huge afro. Like, I would
facial hair, right?
Yeah, and a facial hair. So I would literally get on the highway and, like, immediately just get pulled over. I'm like, we're getting searched again. Everybody get comfortable. It's going to take a while. It's a big van. But, like, I remember once I got pulled over in, like, this small town outside of my hometown. Population of, like, 200 people. So, like, the one sheriff in the town found me. And I was doing nothing wrong. I was literally just leaving a friend's house at like 9:30. And he pulled me over and searched the car for over an hour.
Really?
Every nook and cranny. And like literally came back to me because like I'm like leaning against the hood of his car, freezing my ass off. He's like, well, I don't get it. Be honest with you, by the looks of you and by the looks of that, I was going to find something tonight, but I can't find anything. I'm like, well, did you check the hood? And he's just like, that's not funny. So yeah. I'm used to it.
I've always wanted to challenge, just like, look, if you want to search, that's fine, but I'll be just as surprised as you.
Fair.
You're not going to find anything in my car. Good luck.
At one point in time, like, this is so terrible to say, but like, I got pulled over. This guy was like shining a flashlight down there. He's like, what's that? I'm like, I don't fucking know. He's like, well, pick it up. What is it? I'm like, that's a chicken bone. How'd that get here? He's like, go on. We're done here.
Go home.
Go home, young man.
Yeah, the only run-ins I really had with the police were from getting dirty in the back of an old Escort.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Me and my girlfriend at the time. So the only place we had was parks.
I had a police officer pull a gun on me once. I was, again, probably 16, 17. I was walking around my hometown, and somebody had called in a report of 3 kids walking around with a shotgun. And naturally, the 3 of us were just walking around at like 9 o'clock at night, and this cop car just flies up, skids to a stop. The guy gets out and pulls the gun on us. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Yeah. Nope, that's all it was. We got a report of kids with a shotgun. Empty your pockets, because that's where you're hiding the shotgun.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you about when I came back to visit my mom when I was in grad school? So I came back to visit my mom when I was in grad school, and I went to visit a couple of the friends and things, so I ended up getting back at my house around midnight. Anyway, I'm not going to tell that part of the story. Anyway, got kicked out of my mom's house while I was visiting by my father.
Okay.
And I end up at the park near my house. 3 squad cars roll up because a homeless man is haunting the park.
Haunting?
Yeah.
Okay.
It wasn't a homeless man, it was me.
Yeah.
I wasn't homeless, I was me.
Yeah.
So, they're angry. Well, can you prove that you're not homeless? So I pull out my keys and I go, keys to my truck. Truck's right there. You want it, pal? It's just like, why you gotta harass somebody just for being in a park?
Yep.
For being in a park.
Yep. It's a thing.
Yeah.
And like, that's the thing. I mean, if you're decent to me, I'll be decent to you. But if you're going to be a prick when you pull me over, like, oh, I can be a prick too.
Yeah.
It's fine. I worked in law enforcement forever. I know all the things to make your life hell.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Anyway,
this variety hour. Yeah. We had a good time. You want to end us?
Well, if you agree that Trump is not ending the world, hit the like button. If you think that Trump is ending the world, hit the like button. Be sure that you're subscribed to hear us complain about things non-politics related in the future. And if you'd like to help us create more content here on Strip Cover Lit, there's a link to our Patreon, as always, to be found in the description below.
Did you eat a hot dog from Quick Trip?
Yeah. Well,
how are you feeling?
I'm all right.
I feel like I'm going to fucking throw up.
Are you good?
I think so.